Hey guys, Randy Orton Fan 2011, aka the American Sensation, giving you a little video response and a bit of a NASCAR update, which are my predictions for the upcoming 2012 season. Alright, first off the video response. I've seen a video from RockyTopTN11 about things in NASCAR that piss him off. Well, I'm just gonna give my opinions on that right now. Okay, first off, you talk about Brian France, and Brian France basically screwed the NASCAR program, coming up with the Chase playoff format, and then a bunch of other shit that I don't even know. But I think what Brian France wanted to do was to make like a playoff, like a postseason for NASCAR to kind of blend in with all the other big four. But the Chase has basically hurt a lot of legacies, especially Jeff Gordon. If it weren't for the Chase, Gordon would have won the championship in 2004 and 2007. That would give him 6 championships. He would be one away from Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. I mean, and plus, Stewart would still win the championship in 05, Johnson would still win the championship in 06 and 09, but then Carl Edwards would have won it in 08, and Kevin Harvick would have won it in 2010. So, I mean, yeah, the Chase has basically hurt NASCAR in many ways possible. And I completely agree with you on Brian France. I mean, he's basically screwed NASCAR a lot. Now, you also talked about the pre-race show and how it's pointless. I completely agree with you on that. I mean, I don't watch pre-race either. They're just all these like 5 guys or whatever the fuck they are. They just talk about like a bunch of pointless shit that I don't really give a damn about. I mean, the thing is, when I go to the race, I just want to see the race. I don't want to see any like race day or pre-race shit. I mean, sometimes it's interesting, but like mostly it's just nothing really. It's nothing really. Okay, now you also talked about 4 NASCAR commentators. I think it was Marty Read, Darrell Waltrip, Brad Daugherty, and what was the last one? I forgot. Rusty Wallace. Yes. Okay, I completely agree with you on the Marty Read thing. I mean, Marty Read's probably the worst NASCAR broadcaster I've ever heard of. Period. He can't even call shit right. I think the one race that really pissed me off was the three strike mistake that he did in the 2010 Amp Energy 500. First he tried to call Clint Bowyer as the leader of lap 4 or 5, and then it was Juan Pablo Montoya who actually led the lap. Then at the end of the race, he called the so-called big one, which were only 7 cars. Don't even talk to me about that. And then he says Kevin Harvick won the race once the caution came out on the last lap, when in reality Clint Bowyer actually won the race. Yes, I completely agree with you on Marty Read. He needs to go. If ESPN doesn't want to let him go, then he needs to stick to IndyCar, because the only good thing he does is in IndyCar races. When he told about Dan Whelan's death, and rest in peace, Dan Whelan, you were my favorite IndyCar driver. Now, the other one you said about was Darrell Waltrip. That one I kind of disagree with you on. I love DW. DW was actually one of my father's favorite drivers, and he's always loved him, and I guess I kind of like him too. But I mean, he does kind of talk about pointless shit sometimes, but like he does it with feeling. He does it with feeling, a little bit of vigor at the same time. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I respect your opinion on it as well, but I mean, I have my own opinion, and basically everyone in America, we're all entitled to our own opinions, so, and it's good to express them. Now, you also talk about Rusty Wallace. I cannot stand Rusty Wallace. Not in a million years. I cannot stand Rusty Wallace. Don't even get me started on how much I hate him. He's probably the worst, well, I'd say one of the worst NASCAR drivers of all time in my list. And also, you said Brad Daugherty. I mean, I don't get why a former NBA All-Star would be interested in NASCAR. and like I don't get it. I don't get it. But I think Brad Daugherty wants to add a little more diversity to NASCAR because like America is a diverse world, is a diverse country. And I mean, I kind of like the fact of diversity around, especially around my college, because we go heavy on diversity. So I think Brad Daugherty should stay there for at least another little bit. He's okay, but like I just don't get why he's there. But I like diversity too. And I mean, diversity is definitely a big issue in NASCAR because like most of the drivers are Caucasian and male. And I mean, I'm an Asian NASCAR fan. I mean, I can admit that I'm Asian and I like NASCAR. Yes, I'm a redneck. Got a problem with that? Say it to my face. And what else did he say about? Oh yes, you also talked about the East and West series, like the minor leagues in NASCAR. Yes, I completely agree with you on that. I mean, they need to show those races. I've been to a few East series races as well, and they're actually very interesting. Yes, Speed Channel should broadcast those races. Even the East series, the West series, they should be on TV. I completely agree with you on that. Another thing, I actually, for the next topic, I completely agree with you on this one, 100%, actually 110%, is the two-car draft. The two-car draft is not exciting at all. I mean, it's just like racing basically took a step back and made it worse. Talladega and Daytona in 2011 were like basically the worst races I've ever seen. I mean, I went to the July race in Daytona last year, and it was not the same as it was when I went there 2 years before in 2009. It was not the same. I don't like the two-car draft, but the good news is I think is that during Daytona testing, like a week or two ago, they were doing pack racing again, and that's what I like, and I'm pretty sure that's what you like too. Pack racing is more exciting, and of course that's where you really get the true big one. I'm pretty sure I didn't see the big one at all in 2011 in any of the super speedway races. Now, you also talked about phantom debris cautions. That was only one. I think there was only one situation where it was like just a piece of paper in like a nationwide series race, but like I'm pretty sure they got over with that. But I'm kind of staying neutral on that. I really don't care about phantom debris cautions. They're not much in my mind. You also talked about Stephen Wallace. Yes, I completely agree with you on that. I hate Rusty Wallace, and I also hate his son, Stephen Wallace. Let me tell you something right now. At this point in time, Stephen Wallace has basically become the Rusty Wallace of the next generation. Basically, Stephen Wallace was the same as Rusty Wallace. He's a dirty driver. He doesn't care about anyone else. He likes wrecking people, and he always blames his wrecks on someone else. I mean, I'm glad they got rid of that, whatever the fuck that team is called. And if Stephen Wallace can actually find a job, then he better find one fast. And let's just hope it's not with a very top tier team. Also, you talked about moving the nationwide series from IRP or whatever that track is called to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I think the thing is that they want to attract more fans there, and like Indianapolis has a lot of history, you know. Indianapolis Motor Speedway has a huge amount of history, especially with the Indy 500, and I think the Brickyard 400 as well. And I think they just want to make some more races there too. But but the thing is, I kind of like short track racing as well because it's more action. Everything is more packed in together, and you'll see tons of wrecks. I really do like short track racing, which also leads me to another thing. I actually want to see more road courses in NASCAR. I mean, there's only 2 road course races in the entire Sprint Cup schedule: Infineon in Sonoma and Watkins Glen in New York. I really like road course racing as well. If I could ever change one thing in NASCAR, it would be either more short track races or more road course races. But preferably more road course races because it's more challenging to the drivers. I mean, I really want to see the Sprint Cup Series drivers race in Road America or Montreal, or hell, I really want to see them in Laguna Seca. That's a good track. I really want to see them there. You also said about stupid race names. You said the Your Name Here 400 for the upcoming Indianapolis race to replace the Brickyard 400. Yes, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. You're replacing a historic race name. NASCAR's replacing a historic race name with the Brickyard 400 and replacing it with the Your Name Here 400. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's good to have someone. It's good for someone to have attention drawn to them for like one day. But I mean, if you were going to replace a historic race, then that race shouldn't be there at all. If you're just going to replace the name of it. I mean, don't even get me started with the Daytona 500 or the Coca-Cola 600. Though, if any one of those 2 races get their names replaced, then I'm not going to watch that race at all. I mean, it's not going to be the same with a different name. It's not going to be the same. I mean, minor races, they get their names changed often, but like 2 races that shouldn't have their names changed: the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. I mean, yeah, I get that. Also, you said the wonderful pistachios 400, the hell of a good sour cream dips at the Glen. Yeah, those are pointless. Those are pointless too. Yeah, I don't get you want to get food into this as well. I mean, they just it's about the money, you know. It's about the money. That's the main thing. Because of the falling economy, I mean, they really need some more money to get back up. I mean, if you understand me, I'm not one of the top class. I'm really part of the lower part of the middle class, you know, and the economy's hurting us all. Yes, it is. So yeah, it really is. It's really all about the money. Then you also talked about the yellow walls at Charlotte. The thing is that the yellow walls at Charlotte actually look good only at night. Only at night, man. Only at night. Every other thing is that the yellow walls are okay. They're okay, but like they only look good at night. Then you also talked about the commercial, the Chase commercial. Yeah, I mean, I don't get why they put like older drivers in the Chase commercial. They should have put Kurt Busch. They should have put Tony Stewart and basically Jimmy Johnson. And those should be the only 3 drivers that should have been in that commercial. As well as a few other drivers as well. But I mean, those are the 3 only true drivers that really did win in the Chase format. And also you talked about Cup drivers in the Nationwide and Truck Series race. And yes, yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you on that. That Cup drivers shouldn't be in the Nationwide and Truck Series race. I mean, we want to see more. I kind of say that I want to see more unpredictable outcomes in Nationwide Series and Truck Series races. I want to see new up and comers in these series. Not all the big names in these minor leagues. But the thing is that they put the Cup drivers in the Nationwide and Truck Series race to like attract more fans, because especially when you have like Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick, those are like 4 top tier names, and obviously they would have so many fans, so they would attract fans there. But it's really all about they really want attention. They want attention. They want money. It's absurd. Yes, and really, and to tell you the truth, really, now that they made the new point system last year, they finally were able to have a true, well, somewhat of a true champion for the Nationwide Series with Ricky Stenhouse last year. But I would prefer that. I would definitely prefer that only nationwide drivers participate in Nationwide Series races, but they can. I would allow Nationwide Series drivers to participate in Cup Series races, but I would not allow Cup Series drivers to participate in lower series, because you're basically showing lower tier drivers that you're the best, and you're just gonna prove them that it's all such an easy thing. But alright, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Alright, well, it is an interesting video. I want you to check it out. I'll give you the link in the description, and you should check it out for everything else. Now, I'm going to give my opinion for my predictions for NASCAR of 2012. Okay, so obviously 12 drivers would make the chase, and there are 2 drivers that can make it in wild card spots. So my unanimous picks for chase drivers in the top 10 are Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and I'm pretty sure that's it. Yes, I got 6 unanimous drivers in the chase. Now for the other 6, I might come up with somewhat later in another video, because it is kind of early to predict who's going to make the chase. But those are my 6 picks that are probably good enough to make the chase at this point. Jeff Gordon, I mean, he's made the chase, and he's made all but one of the chases, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have another stellar season in 2012. Jimmy Johnson, he's going to make the chase, no doubt about it. He's made the chase every single year. He's one of my favorite drivers. I really like him. He's definitely got another shot to win 6. Tony Stewart, he's the defending champ, and if there's no defending champ in the chase, then it's not going to be the same. So Tony Stewart's going to make it. Kyle Busch, I'm not the biggest fan of Kyle Busch. I don't really like Kyle Busch, but I admit that he is talented. 100 wins in all 3 series. That's really impressive. He's the number 1 driver in Joe Gibbs Racing. He's definitely, even though I hate him, he definitely has my pick for making the chase. Kevin Harvick, I really like Kevin Harvick. I like his style. I like him. He even has my first name, and I really like his personality and how he takes on all comers. So Kevin Harvick, I got him in the chase. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is my favorite driver. I always got to pick him for the chase. Although I do hope that he can finally win a race in 2012 and break that winless streak. And I think the last time he had a win was 2008. And other than that, he hasn't won in the Cup Series ever since. And basically, that's pretty much all of my predictions for this year and everything else. Of course, you want to subscribe to me. Just click subscribe. If you got anything up, if you want me to talk about anything in a future video, just leave it in the comment box down below. I'm always open to any one of your topics that are relevant to me. Remember not to make any derogatory comments, or I will block you. Remember that. Enough said. And that'll be it. I got a yearbook meeting to go to in about a few minutes, so I'm going to end this video right now. Remember to subscribe, leave your topics in the comment box. I'm open to anything you have, and that is it. I'm out. Peace.